Hey, what's up? Like, totally time for 90210.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the 90210 show. My name is Mark. With me as always is my girlfriend Carol. How are you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. Has been a good week here. It is August 1996.
It is.
It's August 2nd. August 2nd, 1996.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Yesterday
Cool.
was August 1st. It was the 1st of August. It's already August.
How is the summer almost over already? I'm sad.
Do you know why we have 12 months?
I do, actually, because you've told me before.
I know, this is such a dorky thing to tell everybody. But if you think about it, everyone, there's like January's named after Janus, which is a Roman goddess. But most of the months were named after numbers. So like the ones we still have that you would recognize is September for 7, October for 8, November for 9, and December, like decimal, for 10. But those
Can you believe this man doesn't want to be a teacher?
But those aren't the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th months. They're the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th months. Because way back in Roman times, Julius Caesar said, "Hey, I should have a month named after me." So he invented July.
So he was a narcissist.
Oh yeah.
Should have named a month Narcissisto or something.
Well, actually, Narcissus was a Greek myth. Narcissus was a boy so in love with his own reflection in a pool of water that he drowned. He went to kiss his reflection and he drowned.
What a freak.
And that's where we get the word narcissism. And that's where we get the narcissus, the flower. Because supposedly he turned into a flower or whatever, I don't know.
Do you just sit at home at night, at least before you met me, reading the encyclopedia or what?
Sometimes, yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, now I spend my time doing other things.
Oh, speaking of other things,
Yeah.
Mom finally got cable.
Oh, wow, good for you.
I'm so happy.
And you're not going to be over at my house much anymore, I guess, now.
Yeah, no more reason to date.
Right? Oh, no.
Shucks.
Remember when I said, are we going to get married? And you were like, oh, it's too early. Is it still too early to talk about that now?
I don't know.
It's been, like, almost 3 years, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying. We've been dating for a long time.
We have been. I don't know why you're choosing to talk about that right now.
Because you interrupted me when I was going to talk about how August was named after Augustus Caesar.
God. Just trying to spare the listeners.
The Octavian.
These few people who have managed to get a hold of our tapes.
Right.
Wanted to hear about, Dylan and Brenda
Who?
and Brandon and
Who are they?
Instead,
Are there months named after them?
Instead, we're learning about Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar.
Dylanuary? Brandich?
Maybe Nate will name a sandwich after him.
What?
I don't know.
A real cheesy sandwich.
Right.
Well, Carol, it's your job to tell the people about the episode.
It is, but first I need to apologize to the people because we did it again.
I knew you weren't going to remember at all what happened in this
I
episode.
remember a little, but it's been like 5 days since we watched Now 2
What do you remember?
I remember David and Donna.
David and Donna broke up.
They're still having issues. And
he dumped her on her birthday.
He's back to the drugs. Hardcore back to the drugs because
Was he on drugs before? Because you said back to the drugs.
Well, his boss gave him caffeine pills before.
Okay, yeah.
And then he gave him meth.
Yeah. That's a hell of a graduation.
He was like,
here's a cup of coffee. Here's a vial of crack.
was that this episode that he started doing the meth? I thought it was last episode he started doing the meth.
No, it was this episode.
Really?
Crunch time. It's crunch time. You got to snort crystal methamphetamines.
So, yeah, it's finals or midterms or whatever.
Crank, I believe they used to call it.
Crank.
They call it meth now, but they used to call it crank.
Because it cranks you up?
I guess, yeah.
Interesting. Well, yeah, so he's all tweaked out. And, yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, that's the episode, everybody. Because that's all Carol remembers.
Well, no, okay, so the first time he did it, he was so happy because he got a bunch of work done.
Because he's just snorted some meth.
He got a bunch of work done.
Say what you will for it. It does put a smile on your face.
Right. And he was able to, talk about things on the show that he thought were brilliant. And then he was sad because nobody listens to his show at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And he was all happy and came home and talked to Donna about it. And so she thinks that, he likes her again.
We're gonna get our relationship all fixed up, he says, or something like that.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out. Yep. And then he goes to sleep and wakes up as an absolute dick. Because he's now, in withdrawal, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, she was going to sleep with him, too.
Yeah. Yeah, she totally was. Yeah, she comes in and she's all, sitting on the bed. And she's like, hey, this is a really good day for just staying in bed. And
yeah, she started to try to kiss him. But she was sitting on his meth.
Yeah. So. He had a little baggie of meth hidden under the sheets.
Get off the bed, Donna.
Get out of here.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And then, the whole episode, he's basically just mean. He was mean last episode without the drugs, though. So I don't know how much we can blame the drugs for his douchey attitude.
But was he really that mean? You were kind of on his side because, Donna's been teasing him. If Donna had been I'd be more on Donna's side if Donna had been I'm not having sex till marriage, and she didn't really waver on that. But several times, only when we've been watching too. So who knows what happens when they're not being filmed. But she's been oh, tonight's the night, we're gonna have sex, and then only for her to be nah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not nice, Donna. What?
Nothing. I'll tell you later.
I don't he makes these faces sometimes when I'm talking, and it's I know he has things to say. It's just this light bulb goes on over his head, but he won't tell me because he doesn't think that you guys deserve to know, I guess. I don't know.
It's not for public consumption. I'll tell you after. Just remind me to tell you after the show. Okay. The light bulb was such a good idea. It became the symbol of a good idea.
Yes.
That's it's interesting, right?
Yeah. It's from a thing.
Is it?
I think.
I don't know.
Anyway. What else happened on this episode? I know Donna starts talking to Kelly about.
So wait, is this the end of the drugs? His boss gets him more drugs.
Oh yeah, he's all I need more, man, I need more.
Every day he's coming to him. He's I need more meth.
And he's I'm not a drug dealer. Could have fooled me, first of all.
Well, he gives him the first 2 were free,
and then he's next time you're giving me money, yeah, but that's what they do. It's the first one's free. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've paid for drugs very little in my life.
Well, when you got a body like yours, you don't have to. See, I have to buy all the drugs.
But yeah, so
he's also never gotten a ticket either. So that's
Well, boobs will do things for you.
Yeah.
But $50. I wonder how much meth he got for $50.
I think a little, just that little bag.
That's not much.
No, meth's pretty expensive, probably, right?
I mean, I
don't
guess.
know. I haven't done meth, so I don't know how much. I don't know how much meth costs.
I just can't imagine that David can really afford to be spending all this money on meth.
He's got that job at the radio station, which I guess is a job.
Yeah, I think they pay him. He's got to pay rent. So.
Good for him.
So yeah, he keeps going back to his boss, and then his boss is finally "You're cut off. You're done." Mm-hmm. First, he said he's tapped.
I thought you could handle it, he says.
First, he's I am tapped out. You tapped me out. I have no more to give you. And then David's like freaking out, and he's like, well, maybe we'll hang out with some of my friends tonight and find you some downers.
Yeah.
See if anybody's holding. Like.
And then he was able to get more. Like David, when the episode ends, Dave's all happy and doing his meth and doing his show. But it's so funny because he's like, oh, I thought you could handle it. I mean, what the fuck?
Who can handle
it's
meth?
I mean,
Right.
Obviously this dude can handle it, I guess.
I guess.
Does it every once in a while or whatever, but it's like, that's like saying, oh, I thought you could handle some injections of heroin.
Right.
You know? I know it's not quite as addictive as heroin, but I don't think anyway. But, geez, come on.
Well, like in the 80s, everybody was doing coke like it was nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And I get the impression that it is a lot more nothing than meth.
Yeah, I agree. I think cocaine, from people that I've talked to that I know have done cocaine, they're like, it's not as addictive as you would think.
Yeah.
That's one of those things that you can use for a while. Now, obviously, people do get addicted to it. Don't go out and do cocaine, people.
No.
But it's one of those things where it's like, people have been able to use it for a while and then, like, get off of it. It's not as, like, you don't find that as much with heroin. Like...
Or meth.
Yeah, or meth, or some of those drugs. Like, people... You find a lot more recovering cocaine addicts. People that used to do cocaine that don't do it anymore.
Like Kelly's mom.
Yeah. There's not... Oh, and real people in Hollywood, too. There's not...
Right.
I mean, read some of the scripts from the 80s. They were all fueled by cocaine. But have you ever read the script of Howard the Duck?
Yeah.
But anyway, so... it's one of those things where it's like, it seems like it's easier to get off. Not that it's not addictive, not that it's not hard, but it seems like it's doable for a lot of people, and it's less doable for heroin. You don't see a lot of people that used to do heroin that are still alive, like Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin. They're all dead.
Right. Well, that's sad.
Yeah.
On a different note here, Donna is complaining to Kelly about David. And she's sad, and she's like, I think it's over. I think he hates me. And Kelly's like, yeah, I wouldn't take it too personally because I think he's on drugs.
And I said, how the fuck would she know? And then Carol rightly pointed out, and this is actually really smart on the writer's perspective and really smart on Carol's perspective that she picked up on it, and the writers decided to give Kelly, the one that has the insight. Her mom was an addict.
Right.
Carol's like, her mom was an addict. She would know the behavior. And I was like, oh, yeah, you're totally right. She would.
So I think next episode's going to be, an intervention for David.
Yeah, for sure. Now, do you remember anything else that happened? Because I can refresh your memory.
Okay, wait. Dylan?
Yes.
The 40-year-old little girl.
Yes, there you go.
She ends up staying with him by herself because her mom has to go back to Mississippi. Or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was Mississippi, but
I think it's Mississippi. Something.
And she was going to take
Iowa. I don't know.
The Social Security card that comes up. Okay,
there you go. You got it now. She's there.
He goes to
listen to this episode so you can hear Carol think out an episode on the air.
He goes to Jim and says, "I want to give them some money to help them get back on their feet."
$5,000.
No, first he said 10.
Well, first he said 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they went back and forth and it got talked down to 5.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm pretty sure.
I think you're probably right.
So, yeah. So he gives them $5,000, which truly, I mean, when he's sitting on millions, I can see how 10,000 would make more sense to him to give them. Because 5,000, while very helpful, is not necessarily going to be enough to move out. And
well, yeah, he's like first month's rent and security deposit and stuff. Now, this was a few years ago. So, and I mean, $5,000 is a good amount of money. But I've got to imagine rents. That'll get you, I'm sure $5,000 would get you into an apartment in Los Angeles or Beverly Hills, the Orange County, the Beverly County, LA County, Orange County triangle or whatever.
Okay.
In that area where he lives. It probably would get you in, I guess, but I don't think it would get you a ton more than that. I don't know exactly what their security deposits are like on their apartments in the Beverly Hills area, but I have to imagine real estate's expensive out there, so I don't know what their apartments go for.
But here's the thing, they don't just need the apartment. They have nothing.
Yeah, they need furniture, they need food.
Dishes. I mean, like everything.
They need some garlic.
Right?
You always want a bulb of garlic in a new place.
For sure.
What about one of those, like a mop? They need a mop. They need one of those little sponges that you wash the dishes with.
So she's like, oh, I was going to take a Greyhound, but now I guess I can fly. Which right there.
Waste some money.
Right? Like, no, that's not what it's for. So I was a little suspicious on that.
Yeah. Although you're skipping several steps ahead. Because what he does is, Jim talks him down to $5,000, and Jim is like, you need to get her social security number, though, because I want to do a background check on her. Because she's probably a scam artist. And Dylan's like, oh, I don't want to ask her for that. And he's like, you do it. He's like, all right, whatever. So he gives her the check, and he says, I got to ask you for your social security card. My money guy, he insists on doing a background check. I told him it was okay, but this is what he likes to do. And she goes, you obviously agree with him. And she rips the check up or whatever and throws it in his face and was like, I can't be bought. I don't want to be a part of this or whatever. And it's like...
Which happened after what I said, by the way.
No, it happened before.
Mm-mm.
Okay. It didn't, but okay.
All right.
I mean, I don't know how to argue with it, no. Because she only decides that she's going to move or that she's going to go back to get her affairs in order after he's convinced that they left. He comes in, he thinks they left. And it's oh yeah, we're only, no, we're just going to get our affairs in order.
All right.
So anyway, she, like I said, it's very suspicious that she doesn't want to give her social security card.
She's very offended.
I can understand being upset, I guess, a little bit, being like, oh, you don't trust me or whatever. But if she was on the up and up, I think I would, like, if I was in this position, I'd be like, whatever. I might not even say it. I might just, like, internally be like, oh, he doesn't trust me. This, like, feels gross, or whatever. But I'd be like, here, you want a fucking check? Check, kind of thing. But she doesn't do that. She's like, no.
She doesn't give him.
I don't want the money then. If you have to do a background check on me, then forget it.
So, yeah, I mean, that's highly suspicious. But then he, like you said, he comes back to the home after that, and all their stuff looks like it's gone. Mm-hmm. And he's all sad. The one keyboard sitting there, because he'd bought two. Him and the little girl were jamming out on their two keyboards.
Yep.
And then they come out from the back room. Like they were purposely fucking with him. I don't really know. Surprise, we're still here.
They have a very good sense of dramatic timing.
Right.
How long were they waiting in that other room? The little girl's like, I wanna get a sandwich. No, we're waiting.
I want to watch TV.
So yeah, she says, I'm just going back to Mississippi or whatever shithole I say we came from. To no offense to anyone who lives in Mississippi,
right? Jeez, Mark.
Your city, your state is gorgeous, I'm sure. I've spent very little time in Mississippi.
I don't think I've been in Mississippi ever.
I've driven through there. I haven't really stopped.
Have I been in Mississippi with you? Have we driven through it?
No.
Then I don't think I've ever been in Mississippi.
Yeah, we've been out west together and stuff like that, but that'd be a long way to go. You could go that way, but it'd be a long way to go.
We should go to like Mississippi and Alabama and Kentucky and
Well, I know you want to go to New Orleans.
That's Louisiana.
Louisiana. And there is a route that you can take that goes through Alabama and Mississippi to get to Louisiana.
Oh, awesome.
Because Mississippi and Louisiana border.
Cool.
So
plan.
All right, we'll do it. Anyway, so she's going back there, and he says, oh, can't she stay or something like that? Or I could watch her? No, like, does the little girl say that?
She says, like, I don't want to go. And then he's like, she can stay. I'll watch her. And then he's like, have you ever been to Magic Mountain? And
she's like, I guess that's settled.
Ugh.
So then she goes off, and little girl comes up with her 50-year-old face. She looks so creepy.
She really does.
And she says, she pulls out, she's like, I don't want you to be mad at me. You know, we'll be family forever. Like she was upset that he was fighting with her mom, and he's like, "Look, we're family. You know, there's gonna be bumpy times, but we'll always be family. We'll always be together, kind of thing." And she was like, "Okay, well, I hope you're not mad, but I did something." And he's like, "Oh no!" And she pulls out the Social Security card, and she's like, "I got it out of her purse
because I heard that you needed it.
I knew you wanted it."
Yeah.
And he's like,
I think he should give it to Jim.
Absolutely. Just copy the numbers down.
Right.
And give them to Jim and let the kid slip it into her mom's purse or whatever. But it's going to come, if he does that, it's going to come back clean. We know he fully trusts them.
Yeah. He should still do it.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's pretty much that storyline.
He's not very smart.
No, but yeah, here's the thing, though. He's like 18. He's like 18 or 19 years old, and just because he has millions of dollars doesn't mean he's brilliant. You know?
Well, no, but I mean, like, he doesn't make the best decisions, that's all, but I guess you're right. You know, he's young.
Yeah, I always thought he was like the world-weary, like, smart, wise one before we started watching the show, just kind of like seeing marketing for it and stuff like that, the commercials, and he looks older than the rest of them.
Right.
I just kind of got that impression. And he's the one, like, a lot of girls like Brandon, Jason Priestley.
Right.
But he's the one that I think most girls are really like, oh, you know, about and everything.
Right.
And so I thought that was his character. But no, he's as much of a dumbass as most of the rest of them.
Okay, what else we got?
Oh, okay. So
Brenda.
Now you need my thing. Okay.
Brenda and Brandon.
What about him?
I don't know.
I don't think Brenda does much this episode. I think Brenda's just kind of like, hi, I'm here. But Brandon's tutoring Deshaun still in sociology.
Yeah, I mean, they have like a conversation.
Okay, they have a conversation about sociology, and he's like, hey, you know, I'm the big man on campus, blah, 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 blah. And then he listens to the game. Now, he misses the test. And he talks to Professor Randall. He's like, oh, Deshaun's not... I see Deshaun missed the test. What, are you going to give him an A this time?
Yeah.
You fucking, whatever, corrupt teacher, professor.
Is this the time he says it to him? Or was it last episode when he's like, I think if you choose to take further sociology courses, you should find another professor.
No, he says it to him this episode.
Yeah,
that's what Professor Randall says. It's like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. And so he says, look, he went up to San Francisco because San Francisco still has a college basketball team that's in Division I. I guess Lou Alcindor's playing for them still.
I have no idea what the hell you're saying.
But not Lou Alcindor. Who? What's his name? Fuck, that joke would have been so much better if I'd gotten the right guy. Fuck, what's his name? The guy that won all the championships with the Boston Celtics.
I have no idea.
The center, you know.
I really don't.
I know, she has no fucking clue. You guys know who I'm talking about. He went to San Francisco University.
Somewhere in the world somebody's yelling at their radio.
Back when it used to be, yeah. All I can think is Robert Parrish, and he was from the last decade. But this guy was in the 50s and the 60s. Oh my god, like one of the best basketball players of all time. Defensive nightmare. Block shots galore, rebounds. You know what I'm talking about. Any basketball fans out there.
So, in the world of 90210...
Anyway, does he still play for them? No, he doesn't. He's dead or whatever. No, he's not dead.
What the fuck?
He's an old man now. Anyway, point is, San Francisco doesn't have a Division I team anymore. But apparently they're playing California University, which also doesn't exist, and I guess is a Division I school. I have no clue.
Deshaun gets hurt.
Yeah, he's listening. Brandon's listening to the game. Oh, no, he went up. That's what I was saying. He went up early. So you're always jumping the gun. He went up early to do interviews. That's what the professor says. Because there's national interviews. First half, dude scores, like, what'd they say? I think they said he scored 40, but no, it couldn't have been. I think he had, like, let's say, like, 26 points. He had, like, 10 rebounds. 2 blocks, 3, 5 assists. Or something
Oh my
like that.
god.
He's filling up the stat sheet. Okay, that's all you need to know. He's lights out.
Okay.
Then he gets hurt.
So that's what Brandon and Deshaun talk about, is how, he got hurt and what's his life going to be now.
Mm-hmm.
And Brandon's still going to help him with sociology. And he got a B all on his own.
He got a C.
Or a C all on his own.
And he took the test in between interviews.
Which was exciting.
I guess.
I've never been excited about a C in my life.
It's what happened.
So, that I think means we're not going to see Deshaun anymore.
No, I think we're still going to see him.
Do you? Because he's not going to play basketball anymore. So,
I think he's the one that was hitting on Donna in that one episode.
No.
No? That was somebody else?
The guy that was hitting on Donna, I think, was older.
Yeah, well, I thought he was older, but I think I was completely wrong.
Well, we'll see.
I thought it was Ernie Hudson from the fucking Ghostbusters movie.
So you thought it was Ernie Hudson?
Yeah, but it wasn't. I remember saying that. That was embarrassing.
I don't know.
Pretty soon you guys are going to get a treat because we're releasing those episodes. That I edited them out.
Edited it in?
I edited them out of the episodes that they appeared in, and they're going to be released into their own individual tapes. So you guys will be, so the collection will be complete, and you guys will be able to get those tapes once we get to that point, which is the end of this season of 90210 that we're doing. This is the time you take to yawn?
Yep.
Right after I'm done with a sentence?
Well, I didn't want to yawn.
Not while I'm talking?
I don't want to yawn over you, because that would be rude.
Well, thank you very much, Miss Manners.
I feel like something happened with Andrea.
Do you?
But I don't remember.
Oh, I know exactly what happened with Andrea.
Well, I think she's knocked up and doesn't know it yet.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because what's happening with Andrea is it's finals week. It's crunch time, which is the name of the episode. And Andrea can't see Jesse.
Oh,
because
yeah.
Because he's doing his law finals or whatever, and they're like, we're strict radio silence.
Yeah, so we don't distract each other.
But then he shows up at the dorm. Donna comes and she's talking about how much she's worried about David, and she thinks their relationship's disintegrating. And Andrea's like, yeah, you can hang out here. That's cool. And then Jesse's behind the door like a serial killer.
Yeah, he's like hiding in her apartment. And they're staring at each other like they're so gonna fuck.
Oh, absolutely.
And then they start kissing, and Donna's just standing there, like, all awkward.
Andrea's like, oh, I'm sorry. You remember Andrea, or you remember Donna? And he's like, yeah, hi. And she's like, I'm going to go. And they're like, no, you can stay. And then they start making out hardcore again. And Donna's just staring at him like, it's like, okay, you're just going to watch them have sex, I guess.
I've been in that situation before, though, and it sucks.
I think everybody's been in that situation. I remember one time, you and I were making out in the back seat. We both decided to sit in the back seat of a car while my friend drove us around, and we're making out in the back seat. And my buddy's, he was such a dork. He's trying. You can't see out of the rearview mirror because all he sees is us making out. So he's like, "Oh, I know what they made these side view mirrors for now, so I can see while you guys are doing that."
Ew.
Yeah. I don't know why you're oohing a memory you were in, but whatever.
Just because I'm thinking about him staring at us while we were making out.
Oh, but he wasn't, though.
Steve. Steve had a thing, too.
Yep.
I mean, he always has a thing, but do we talk about it? No.
No one talks about Steve's thing. Steve is like the sexless one of the group. Although he did have sex with that one girl that accused him of rape.
Yeah, and Celeste.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And Kelly.
Oh, yeah, a long time ago.
But
before
still,
before the series even started.
That's an accomplishment, okay?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so he calls out John Sears.
Yes, he does. Well, okay, so what happens is... Okay, yeah, go ahead. He calls out John Sears. Go ahead.
And John's like all indignant and like, oh, I didn't, do this to you. Huh? What?
Good word, I said. Very nice.
And he's like, I want to put this to the test because he's tired of being, hassled about it.
You're a piece of shit, Sanders.
And he's like, all right, let's do it. Like, he has no idea what he's agreeing to.
They won't play him on the volleyball team either, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
That pisses Steve off.
Because he's good at volleyball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's part of what gets him to yell at John because John's, like, ruining his whole experience. It's not nice.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what the test ends up being is they have
the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, it's not even, like, a trial where they are saying their piece. It's like somebody just says, this is, what's going on.
It's a blackball ceremony.
And they have to put... Yeah, okay. I didn't realize that was an actual thing that people would just know what that means.
I don't know if they know what it means, but you can describe it.
So they each have like a fishbowl in front of them, and each dude has...
And it's filled with keys, and whoever's keys you pick. That's a 70s thing.
No, it's not one of those weird parties.
It's called a key party.
Each brother in the fraternity has a ball. And they put it in the fishbowl that belongs to the brother that they want out of the house. And one of them is getting kicked out.
One of them's getting blackballed.
And at first, they're all putting their balls in Steve's thing.
Yeah.
And then
what happens is, before the ceremony starts, like you said, they can't even say their piece. It's so ridiculous. The president's like, okay, they're going to sit there, put the ball in the one you want gone. No one can say anything.
Yeah.
There's no talking allowed, which is so stupid. They can't present their case to each other or whatever. But before the ceremony starts, the one dude that is always hanging out with John Sears is like, I wonder who called campus security, though. He just like kind of says it and shakes his head. And John's like, I did.
Yeah.
Dummy. Like, I'm absolutely guilty of what he says, but fuck the Sanders. And he's like, why'd you do it? And he's like, because he messed me up with Kelly, and then I wanted to rape that that underage girl. He wouldn't let me.
Right.
And so then he sits down, and when it gets to that dude, the guy looks over at Sanders and stands there and is like fakes him out a couple times. Might as well have. And then he goes over to Sears' thing and drops it in there. And then he says, he violates the talking rule because John Sears, who should have just kept his mouth shut. So, like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? Take it out, take it back, put it in Sanders' thing. And he goes, sorry, John, but if you can turn on Sanders, who's to say you couldn't do it to any of us? And then everyone else is like, oh, fuck.
And they're friends, and they know they're friends, so that puts a lot of weight on what was just said.
Exactly.
So then they all start putting their balls in John's bowl.
They all start slapping their balls on John's table. And Steve's got a big smile on his face.
He starts laughing.
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of a doofus.
He is a doofus.
Like, he's just too happy. Like, almost cartoonishly happy about it.
Yeah, it's that smile that makes him look like a psychopath.
And John's very upset, obviously. But does he get kicked out? Because I thought he's in other episodes.
I think he is in other episodes. I don't know if he gets kicked out or not.
It's weird.
Maybe they reverse things or whatever. The president of the fraternity seems to kind of, believe Steve. Because, he knows he tried to statutorily rape that girl. Because he says to him, he's like, look... Steve's accused you of this. This is all before the ceremony. He's like, look, Steve's accused you of this, but all he wants is an apology, and then, it's under the rug. It's, whatever, water under the bridge. Doesn't matter. So just apologize to him. It's basically what he says to him, which makes it really sound like he's like, I believe him.
Right.
Which, doesn't surprise me. But Sears, refuses, and then that's where we get to this point.
Yeah.
So he made his own bed.
Yep.
And he tried to fuck Steve over.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens, but as of right now, he is blackballed.
Yep, he's blackballed and black and blue.
And not much happens with Brenda or Kelly.
I don't think, Kelly's got her suspicions. She's in the background, taking notes.
Doing homework.
Yeah, exactly. Brenda, she's studying too, and I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't have a ton going on. But somebody's always got to get short shrift because there's too many characters. So somebody's always got to take the back burner. We know because at least you watched some of the episodes coming up that there's some Brenda heavy episodes coming up. So it's a balance. You know, earlier in the season, Brandon wasn't getting much play, and now he's got more of a storyline. So
yeah, they'll get their time.
But that is it. That's the episode this week. Carol, tell everyone things.
So if you want to yell at us for waiting so long in between recording and watching, you can write us at latefee1994@AOL.com. Mm-hmm. If you want to check out our website and find out some fun facts about us, go to www.retrolatefee.com.
Play games. There's some extras there and stuff like that.
There's games?
I don't know. But
there's no games.
There's extras there.
There is extras.
There's extra stuff there. Check it out.
There are also no prizes.
Well, I don't know.
Not now. Someday.
I think the real prize is the friendships you make along the way.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, bye.